Hello and welcome to Long Beach Lens. I'm your host, Derek J. Simpson, Executive Director of the Long Beach Community Action Partnership. Our first guests are fitness trainers from Journey to Fit. Please join me in welcoming its co-founders, T, Fan, and Jandar, right?
Yes.
All right. So guys, there are all sorts of fitness elements around this city and around this state and around this nation, but here you are. And I want to first introduce you in terms of who you are and what brings you into this particular market. So let's start with you, T. And I read that your passion is helping people learn to choose the roads that lead to a healthier lifestyle.
Absolutely.
What put you on that road?
Well, my name is T, co-owner of Journey to Fit. Well, when I was younger, I was a pretty skinny kid. I was always pretty active, though.
Right.
I was just this 110-pound kid, and then I just didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I felt, so I made an initiative, a goal to put on muscle, work out, and then that feeling was an amazing feeling. It led me to just every other aspect of my life. It raised every other aspect of my life. So then I wanted to transfer those feelings to my clients, to other people, let them know that it's possible. You know, you don't have to settle for your body, and you could make change and then feel better about yourself.
One of the few things we have control over when you think about it, right, is our own body, what we eat, how we take care of it, something to really keep in mind when you consider how chaotic the world is. And then you guys are friends for a while. Jandar read that your quote was, passion for helping people reach mental and physical goals. So it's not just about the body, it's about the mind in conjunction with that, right?
Absolutely. Yes, we believe that in order for us to change physically, we have to change what's inside, meaning the way we think and the way we view ourselves. I think that's very important. We can always work out, and if our mind isn't passion is into it, then we won't get the results that we want. So being able to change your mindset and shifting it to the right direction with your health and knowing that it is very important, then you can see maximum changes with your results.
Now, you guys didn't just go get a certificate. You're actually both graduates of Cal State Long Beach and in kinesiology, and we have a photo of that particular day. I'm sure that was an exciting day. So you take this seriously from the standpoint of being scientific, but also involved in the way that you engage people in your own unique ways. Is that an accurate way of saying it?
Absolutely. We believe that being able to use our background and knowledge that we learned from school and using that and apply it to what we learn doing now with our clients is very, very important. I think T is one of our person who actually does that. He really, we write down a program, what we learn in school, and apply it to our clients.
So how do you feel that that's different, if at all? I mean, if I'm out there, like for instance, I was mentioning as we were getting ready for this show that I do kickboxing now. I was just in the weight room pumping weights and wasn't really losing anything. And so when you talk about transitioning your body to where you want it to be, is there a certain strategy that one should think about before they just go and sign up someplace?
Well, I feel like what distinguishes us is that we have a science behind our workouts. It's not, we're just not going to the gym, pumping weights, and then eating whatever, there's a science behind it. We believe in working smarter,
Gotcha.
So if you're gonna spend 3 months in the gym, you might as well spend it doing it right, getting the results you want, instead of just going 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and then not seeing the results you want.
Right. And even though I'm a former athlete, I found myself in that rut sometimes. And so that's something people shouldn't take for granted, would you say?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just having a goal in mind, knowing what you want to achieve is very important. I mean, everyone can just go to the game and go to the gym, and if you don't have a goal and knowing what direction you're going, then you're just going to get lost. So making sure that you know what you want with your body and how you want to transform it, then it'll help you a lot.
Can we talk for a moment just about the combination, too, of the nutrition part and the physical workout? Because I've learned that that's a balance that you have to be serious about as well, right?
Absolutely. We believe a good analogy we like to use is like using your body as a car.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to fuel your body right in order to perform at its best, right? If you were to have a Lamborghini, you wouldn't pump 87 gas into a Lamborghini. So why would you do that to your body, right? So it's 100% nutrition, 100% training. So we believe in both aspects. You can't just do half and half and expect to get the results that you want.
What do you do for people who hit that barrier where they just, they came in all energized and ready to roll, and then maybe somewhere around that 4th or 6th week it kind of gets hard and they tend to let life take over again? How do you get them over that hump and motivate them to keep it going?
It happens to the best of us. A lot of our clients do go through a stage where they tend to lose focus or go back to their old habits, and it's very important to remind our clients of their goals. hey, you know what, I understand that your lifestyle can get a little hectic, there are some minor setback, we just have to bounce back and make sure that why we started the journey to begin with, you know what I mean, and remind themselves of why they started.
And one thing my doctor told me, just matter of fact, that I should go back and let my assistant, Andrea, who you both know that she should put my workouts on my calendar just like all these other meetings that I've made a priority, and make my health my #1 priority. And that was like a tipping point in my life. Would you say that that's good advice for people to follow in their own way?
Absolutely. You just have to, I guess, schedule your workouts, make sure it's important. Like, if workout should be important, you know. So if you schedule into your calendar, you got to make sure you show up to your workouts. Same thing as like having a trainer. You schedule your appointment with the trainer, you're obligated to go, right?
Right.
So why not do that with your own day? Schedule that into your day.
Good point. So you guys, you figure out your body's not what you want it to be. You decide that you're both going to college and you have your degrees in kinesiology. And then you see, wow, this is something that we should actually take and make it part of our lives in terms of being business owners. And you become entrepreneurs. And we have some photos of your grand opening. And what was that day like when you actually go from a dream or a vision to the reality of having your own space to pursue your dreams?
It's very overwhelming. We were, you know, when it happened, when we opened our grand opening of the doors to our clients, it was a surreal feeling because we never thought we would be entrepreneurs to begin with. We thought we would go to the traditional route of graduating college and then getting our degree in physical therapy and pursue that. But after getting our keys to the doors, it made us realize, man, anything is possible. You can definitely be your own bosses, you know, and being able to provide for our family is definitely something that was very fulfilling for both of T and I.
So, I mean, being entrepreneurs, your mind never really stops. You know, you're always thinking of the next move, next move, next move. So then, like 4 or 5 years went by, it's like we're always trying to move forward. And we took a step back during our grand opening, and we just saw how much support we had, and then it just mind blowing. You know, so stuff like that always reminds us like how grateful we are.
What's been your greatest success when you think about what you've done to date with the business from both of you? Let's stay with you for a moment. What's been the greatest success that just makes you really feel good about what you've been doing?
Just overall, just impacting lives, you know.
Okay.
That's our #1, it's always been our core value, impacting lives. That's what we chase, impact, you know, and everything else just follows. Right. So we get like messages from our clients, oh yeah, I guess I just fit into my old jeans. I went to a party, I haven't seen people in like 5-6 months. They can't recognize me. It's stuff like that. That's the most rewarding.
Anything come to mind that just stands out?
Making our parents proud, you know what I mean? I think that's one thing that we really cherish. My mom just passed away 2 years ago, and being able to show my dad like, hey, we were able to overcome that and open the gym, it was definitely something that we felt, man, that was a big success for us. So impacting lives and making our parents proud.
Yeah. When you think then back to the clients that you have coming in, what are some of the barriers that you feel that they have to overcome to really engage the way you want them to engage? Because, and I ask that question because there may be someone who's viewing right now that come up with excuses after excuse after excuse, and you've probably heard most of them all in your careers. So what are some of those that are common barriers that you hear? And then the follow-up is, what do you say to people to help them get over those barriers?
Time is definitely one of the main excuses that a lot of people use. You can always make time for your health. You just got to do it. It only takes 45 minutes to an hour just to get a good workout and getting results. And even 2 to 3 times a week will make a big, big difference on your body and the way you feel. So we believe time is always an excuse, and if you can just find that time, it will be worth it.
Yeah. Anything come to mind for you as well?
I think support.
Support.
I understand people that come to us, they have long days. They're stressed out. They have long days. But when they come to our gym, we want to make sure that we're the best part of their days. And when they walk out, they feel better than when they walked in.
Yeah. How do you do that? When you say you help them feel like that's the best part of the day, is it just you're there encouraging them and inspiring them? Is that the deal?
We want to provide an environment where it's just nothing but positivity. Everybody in our gym is there for the same reason, to be better.
There you go.
And then everybody can relate to each other. We lift each other up.
Right. So we here as an agency and at PadNet serve people who are typically low income. And sometimes money can be a barrier when you're talking about getting the best of services, no matter what those services are. But what would you say to people that may see that as an obstacle that they can't seem to overcome in their own minds? What would you encourage them to do to work out on their own, or to get to a place where they can move on to someone like your company as well?
We can always start with what you can do at home with your eating habits. You know, being able to just cut out the junk food and stuff that you should not have. It can be a big step towards the right direction. Again, a healthier lifestyle. Or even changing the way you carry yourself in terms of like your mental state, thinking a positive thing as opposed to always putting yourself down. Those are some of the ways that can actually help you, again, working on your health as well.
Gotcha. Anything you'd like to add in that as well, too?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Just do the small things, you know. You don't have to be really well off to like make sure you're drinking enough water, eating your veggies, your fruits, stuff like that, you know.
Water is important.
Very
I find
important,
hydration is very important. I've learned that the hard way. We're coming down to the end of the time that we have, guys, but final thoughts real quickly when you think about what I've asked or what I haven't asked that you would like to share with those who are watching. That quick elevator pitch, what would yours be?
Something I would say is in order for you to succeed, you have to commit to a healthier lifestyle. So just making sure that you make the small changes that might lead up to your ultimate goal can be the way to do it for your health.
Nancy, quickly.
Just embrace the journey. Because whatever your goal is, you got to make sure you enjoy and embrace the journey. It might be a struggle now, but when you get to your goal, it's going to pay off and make it that much worth it more, you know?
Great insight, guys. I can't wait to come by and visit you. I appreciate what you're doing in the community and being an inspiration to other people who are aspiring entrepreneurs as well. Best of luck to you. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we will meet the hip-hop recording artist, Borey Chau. Stay tuned for more of Long Beach Lens.
This is the story of Francesco the Chicken. Francesco hadn't been born prepared. He didn't come out of the womb standing tall with $20 in his pocket. From the start, there were no God-given gifts, no natural abilities that endowed him with the grace of a swan, the wisdom of an owl, or the eyes of an eagle. Unfortunately for Francesco, he emerged into this world, born unadorned. In this life, he wanted to tell his tales through the medium of film. But as you and I know, he had no natural aptitude. So Francesco sought out knowledge on how to better improve his craft. He set off and traveled the world, from here to there, and back to here again. He learned about shapes, colors, patterns, and textures, acquired information about cameras, lights, and audio equipment. He repeated the Sisyphean process of acquiring knowledge over and over, over and over, over and over again. It was through this process that he realized, even though one may be born talented, it doesn't give the person a pass on all the hard work that they put in order to reach the top. He came to the conclusion that hard work could be talent, if talent didn't work hard.
Welcome back to Long Beach Lens. I'm Derek J. Simpson. Our next guest is a hip-hop recording artist, born and raised right here in Long Beach. Please join me in welcoming Borey Chau.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, it's my
Appreciate
pleasure,
it.
man, my pleasure.
Thank you.
So to be a hip-hop artist born and raised in Long Beach, you're following some pretty royal predecessors, huh?
Pretty big shoes to fill, but
Right.
I try not to look at it as me filling somebody else's shoes, but rather me creating my own legacy
Doing
and my
your own
own
thing.
story, you know.
Yeah. And I read that you're known for your lyrical wordplay and soulful delivery.
Right.
Where'd that come from?
I'm a fan of storytelling,
Okay.
and I started off doing poetry at first.
Okay.
So learning about structure, learning about a theme, topics.
Mhm.
And so that was the main thing for me, to be able to create a visual behind the lyrics and not just, you know, words that rhyme together. So I'm
Right.
big on, you know, witty flows and things that mean something to make you think, you know, when you listen to the lyrics or the song.
Right.
And so just something to create a visual, something that you can remember.
Now, for the young people in elementary school or middle school,
Right.
you got your start doing lunch table
Yeah.
poetry and rap, right?
It was in middle school when one of my friends, he brought a CD with his older cousins rapping. And so I was always a fan of music itself, you know, with my older brother just being around, just music itself, hip-hop, R&B, and just
Right.
things like that. But it wasn't until middle school when my friend, he brought his cousin CD, and I was just like amazed that like somebody I knew made music. And
Right.
so that inspired me, and so we just started freestyling, like writing poetry about like, you know, things that 6th, 7th graders write about, you know,
Yeah.
like nonsense stuff, you know.
Right?
Yeah.
But it was very real to you at that time.
It was
so,
real,
yeah.
you know, you write about like things you know, like
Right.
cars, food,
Yeah.
like middle school girls and stuff, you
Yeah.
know, so
Right, right.
yeah.
So when did you realize that it was really a gift for you, that music was like, that was it, that was something that you were going to pursue?
You know, it followed up with high school when I started recording music just to pass out to friends for us to listen to, and it wasn't until after I graduated high school until, you know, I started maturing, started going through real life situations. I think that when everybody started relating to it and reaching out to me, telling me like, hey, you know, like maybe you should pursue this, like this is really good and stuff like that. You know, it inspired me, it motivated me to actually pursue this passion of mine. And so it went from a hobby into a full-fledged passion. And so early on in college, I just started putting out mixtapes and just really just, you know, going full-fledged with it.
Now, you mentioned college, and the fact of the matter is, though that was something you were passionate about,
Yeah.
you actually have a mechanical engineering degree.
Right, I do.
Right. And so how does that science and music mix for you in your life?
I don't know if they mix or if it's parallel, but in a funny way it does, because I think the creative way you think of being an engineer, you got to be creative when you're designing things or when you're coming up with different ideas to make the world go around. Same thing with music, or same thing with being an artist itself. You know, you have to be creative and think outside the box and think how can you sonically or mechanically or you know, lyrically make something happen, you know, from scratch, you know.
Right.
And so yeah.
Right. Now, of all the styles, R&B seems to be an influence.
Big, yeah.
Why R&B? What do you think that gravitates you towards that?
I think R&B is just, it just has a feel-good sound to it, you know. When you hear certain songs that make you feel good, make you want to dance, make you want to groove, it kind of hits the soul.
Right.
You know, so I'm into songs that give you a vibe, that give you a soulful feeling. You know, those are the songs that last forever.
Any particular artists that come to mind that say, wow?
I'm a big fan of all kinds of music. R&B, if we're speaking R&B specifically, we're talking like R. Kelly, Jodeci, Tevin Campbell, Maxwell, like, you know,
Okay.
the 90s
You go back.
R&B
Yeah,
type of
okay.
stuff. You know,
Okay.
I'm an 80s baby, so like I'm big on that.
Right, in
Yeah.
that generation.
Right.
See, I would say Marvin Gaye and...
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
a little
et
bit
cetera, et
before
cetera.
my time, you
Yeah.
know, so.
But that's where the roots were, right?
Right, for sure,
So-
you know.
so you come
I
all the way
respect the
through.
roots too.
Right.
Yeah, big
Okay.
time.
So you born and raised in Long Beach, you attend college, you start distributing things. And how did your work get to an international level? Because now I understand you have an international following.
I think the main thing was word of mouth. You know, with this day and age, technology and the internet was the main platform that allowed me to garner fans across the world. with SoundCloud, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. These are all outlets and platforms that allows me to reach people across the world. And it's an amazing feeling to be able to talk to fans, or fans, you know, they hit me up on Instagram, or they tell me a story like, hey, you know, you got a fan from Italy, like you got a fan from Croatia, Cambodia, you know, Europe, you know. So it's been a surreal feeling, but definitely a grateful one for sure.
Now, do you perform locally, and have you done any national tours or international tours?
Definitely perform locally. I think the majority of my shows has been in LA County, from Long Beach, Santa Ana, LA. So definitely locally. A lot of people have reached out to have me perform in different states, but it's just about timing. So yeah.
So I read names of albums. So you had Good Company.
Good Company, that was released, that was my first mixtape, October 22nd, 2011. Okay. That was when I actually got serious and put out, you know, my own music. So it was just me going over like different artists' beats and my own lyrics and stuff like that.
Then you moved on to Late Nights and Early Mornings.
Yeah, that was
a story there.
That was June 17th, 2013. That was my second mixtape. And that was when I was, I guess you could say, a little bit more established, a little more polished as an artist.
Right.
I think that was just me growing and progressing and just wanting to show people how I've gotten better over the years.
And you and I were talking prior to this segment about Forever and a Day, because as I was saying, that's one of the most popular selections off of a CD that I produced years ago.
Right.
But Forever and a Day, what does that mean to you?
Forever and a Day, to me, will forever be a monumental moment in my life. It was a time, it was my debut album that I released. It was that I recorded my last semester of college during my undergraduate years. It was me putting together a collection of sounds, my thoughts, my emotions, and everything I built to that time period, and was able to convert that musically onto a CD. You know, I was able to press 1,000 copies that I sold independently. I put it out free online because, you know, I feel that music shouldn't be withheld, or it shouldn't be, you know, held for hostage, I guess you might want to say. People will get it free if they wanted to. Right. But the main thing was support. You know, people wanted to support, people wanted to buy the CD, and that was a good feeling for me, that people reached out and they bought the physical copies, you know, and so yeah.
So we have here the Leadership Academy Mentoring Program, or LAMP, and we have a recording studio, and we try to introduce them to things like Logic and Pro Tools and all all the elements of music, not just in front of the microphone, but behind the microphone.
Right.
But knowing your journey and where you are right now, both with a degree and with your work that you've produced musically, what would you say to that middle school young man or woman who's sitting around the table today with aspirations about music? What would you say to them about the music industry and pursuing that dream, as well as pursuing their education?
Yeah. What I would say is just to be focused and have a plan. You have to confidently know the direction of your dreams, and that's partially quoted by Robert Thorough. It's a quote that I live by as a motto, is just being confident in knowing where you want to be in life. Your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, and you just have to have tunnel vision. And if you focus on just that, I think you'll be all right. Being hardworking, being determined, and just believing in yourself at first. The main thing, the priority is believing in yourself, for sure.
When you look at the industry now, as you know it to be now, and when you first dropped your Good Company, what are the major changes that you see?
I think the major changes from Good Company to today's day and age is the internet platform. I think the way the media, as far as social media and the internet, has played a role as far as putting out music or content has been skyrocketed. You no longer need to be signed to a major label, or you no longer need a big company or corporate company to back you up. You can put things out independently. So that's cutting out the middleman, maximizing independent profit, or maximizing your independent company. And so it's about, nowadays, ownership and having your own following without having to be confined by, I guess you would say, a corporate machine, or by somebody telling you what you should sound like. And so that's been the biggest, I think, change from Good Company to now.
Do you see it as all good, or is there some things that you wish
I think
were a
it's
little different?
definitely good because, you know, with the times, people have to understand you have to adapt to the times, you know,
Right.
just like animals and just like people, we have to adapt to change. And for people to say that it may be bad, it might be bad for if you're still stuck in the past
Right.
and how things used to work.
Right,
But you have to adapt to today's day and age.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing, good change, you know.
What does success look like for you going forward in the music industry? And I'm assuming, are you still doing engineering work as well? Or?
Yeah, I'm a full-time engineer and still a full-time recording artist.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what does success look like for you going forward?
Success to me is being able to, you know, create opportunities not just for myself, but creating a platform where others can use their voice as a tool themselves, whether that's being an artist or musically or just them chasing their dreams. Just being able to create opportunities for them, making my family proud, my loved ones, my friends, those that supported me since day one. And so to me, that's the biggest, you know, success to me.
Final thoughts? When you think about music, when you think about everything that's going on in the world right now, what comes to mind?
Final thoughts is, I would have to quote Dom Kennedy is, everybody wants to eat, but nobody wants to be in the kitchen. So if you want to eat, you got to work hard for it, be in the kitchen, cut the veggies. So that's a metaphor for life, by the way.
Right.
You know, so that's my final thoughts, I would say.
Working hard. I can't wait to see you. You're going to keep us in touch with your schedule, or maybe
For
come
sure,
back and
yeah. I'll
speak to our teens or stay
I'll
involved.
talk to your assistant, Andrea, and make sure we keep in touch.
Yeah, let's do that for sure.
For sure. And I'll peep out your Forever in a Day.
There you go. There you go.
Your podcast.
I can write for you. You can write for me. We'll make it
Hey,
happen.
we do a little ghostwriting. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. I'd like to thank T. Fan, Jandarai, and Borey Chau for joining us on today's show. Be sure to follow PatNet TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest updates. We also welcome your comments and thoughts regarding this show as we strive to make Long Beach Lands a favorite source of local news, information, and entertainment. This show has been brought to you with support from the Long Beach Community Action Partnership, helping people, changing lives. Thank you for watching Long Beach Lands.